Hello and welcome. It is Friday. Can you believe it's Friday?
It's Friday.
Yay, it's Friday. Friday, March 5th, 2021. Welcome to the Resilience Talk Network Morning Kickstart Show. I'm your host, Tamara K. Anderson.
And I'm Brad Neufeld.
And I'm Jay Walther.
And we're here to kick you off with a positive quote, a resilience tip, and a fun fact for the day. We'll first start off with Mr. Jay Walther, and it's Jim Rohn week, isn't it, Jay?
It is. Continue.
Jim Rohn week continues and ends for Friday. In this quote, he said, "Life and business is like the changing seasons. You cannot change the seasons, but you can change yourself. Therein lies the opportunity to live an extraordinary life, the opportunity to change yourself."
That's
wow.
good. I like how he compares it to seasons.
Yeah, I do too.
Because I feel like my life goes through that. You know, sometimes I have a winter that seems to freeze over and you're like, oh, let me out.
Well,
but spring always comes.
He always teaches you, that you can expect there's going to be a winter after fall. Mm-hmm. There's going to be a fall after summer, and just, it's going to happen. So you plan for it. How you react to your winter. How do you plant in the spring? How do you harvest in the summer and the fall? That's how you're going to survive through the winters, because it's coming.
Yeah, and it can help for preparation. We can choose to prepare for it or just let it come and deal with it when it hits. Right. But yeah.
So if you prepare, if you change yourself, if you get ready, then you'll be able to weather it better.
And as we push ourselves outside of our comfort zone, that's kind of been a theme for the week here too, is taking action on things that we feel in our heart that we want to do. But I just want to throw this out there too, because with perfection comes with practice. Okay. And if we're not willing to put ourselves out there and practice our new talent and skill, it's going to severely limit us in what we do. And this is something that every human being faces. Okay. Because I read this study one time, this was years ago, I'd like to see if it's changed, but they were talking about the 3 biggest fears that hold people back in life. And guess what the number 1 fear was? Public speaking.
Really?
Okay, number 1. And what was so interesting about this survey was it said the next one was fear of falling, and the third one was fear of fire or losing everything all at once. I mean, there were some other added tidbits in with why people chose those things. But I just felt, isn't that interesting? People would rather burn up instead of get in front of a group of people and speak. Okay.
I heard it said that the people fear public speaking more than death.
Yeah. Yeah. It's so true. It's so true.
Rather die.
There must be something wrong with me then, because I don't fear public speaking. Well, or maybe I've just overcome that fear. I don't know.
Yeah, well, with all my years of speaking, I tell people this, I'm honest with them. Does it get easier? Yes. But guess what? Every time I go to speak, I get that knot in my stomach. But as soon as I say my first 2 or 3 words, I'm fine. But it's taken me a while to get there. But that doesn't, what I'm saying here is you don't need to get out there and just be this famous public speaker to be successful. No, you don't. But it does take practice to get out and ask for the things that you want, like we talked about yesterday. It may take that there's something you need and there's somebody that has it, but you're afraid to approach them. Well, you can come up with a way to do it, but the thing is practice. Practice on your family. Practice on what you would say. Practice on somebody that you're comfortable with, and say, hey, can I practice asking for this raise with you before I go ask my boss? And you'll be surprised if you practice it at first. It'll be a lot easier when you go actually do it. Okay. So just understand you're not going to be perfect at everything. Michael Jordan was not born a great basketball player. He had to put himself out there and practice 8 to 12 hours a day sometimes that he talked about. He was just a maniac with that. But anyway, that's what it's going to take. But be sure and just understand that up front. Put yourself out there. Don't be afraid of what other people are going to think. That's the other big thing too. And we can talk about that a little bit next week. But don't be afraid of what other people are thinking. Just do your thing and work on getting better at it. That's
amazing.
My tip for the day.
Yeah. Love it. All right. Fun fact for today. Today, Friday, March 5th, is National Day of Unplugging. And that means like from technology. So it's not good that you're watching or listening this on technology, but
I was going to say, should I unplug right now?
maybe we shouldn't unplug right this second. But an interesting fact is that for an average of Americans spend 3 hours a day looking at a screen, at least 3 hours a day. So
Crazy.
like 3 out of 4 people spend that much time looking at a screen. And so 75% of Americans spend anywhere from 10 or more hours a day looking at a device or on some sort of device. And so I'd love to invite you to take a challenge to do something about it, to maybe take a phone fast for 24 hours. I don't know if you could do it for 24 hours, but maybe you start with, I'm going to do 1 hour less today. But the challenge with giving yourself something like that and leaving it open as a void, sometimes you might be like, oh my goodness, what do I do with my time? And so I want you to pause and think, if you're going to take this challenge, to figure out a way you can fill that void. And often we can fill that void by thinking about, who can I help today? So I'd love to invite you to not only unplug a little bit, but also think of somebody that might need your help, or that you could spend some quality time with. Maybe it's calling a friend and saying, hey, let's go out to lunch, or maybe it's taking a child on a little field trip or something. Do something fun with that time. And you'll find that you will be strengthening relationships and helping others while you're unplugging.
Yeah. Great tip for a Friday.
It is a great tip for a Friday. Do something fun this weekend. Anyway, that is our Resilience Talk Network morning kickstart. Thanks for joining us today. We'd love to invite you, if you're watching on YouTube, to subscribe, and so that you can get our morning kickstart every day, Monday through Friday at 8 a.m. Also, you can listen to us 24 hours a day on resiliencetalknetwork.com, where we'll bring you amazing tips and podcasts from people who have learned to be a light amidst this world of chaos that we live in. And they'll give you amazing tips and tricks and lessons learned through the muck and hard times of life.
Absolutely.
So follow us and listen to us on resiliencetalknetwork.com. Thanks for joining us this morning, and have an awesome weekend.
All right. We'll see you next week, guys.